Lack of fight about it. Danny Murphy said against Birmingham the other night that they wanted it more, and that's happened time and time again. They've got to go onto the pitch and believe that they are a good team, but if they get behind, they've got to show massive fight.
Yeah. I think that, you know, the fact that they've capitulated on occasions already in the last 3 months, which they're not used to here.
Now, should Liverpool win tonight, they could face Celtic in the quarter-finals, and we'll see how Celtic get on in Germany tonight at half-time here. But now it's Liverpool versus Auxerre with commentary from Trevor Brooking and John Motson.
Well, there's plenty of noise here already, and in Anfield's long and distinguished European history, Auxerre have already played a small part. They were here 11 years ago in the first season that Liverpool returned to Europe after the Heysel disaster. And in this UEFA Cup, Liverpool lost 2-0 in France and then won 3-0 here at Anfield. Molby, Marsh and Walters the scorers, and they went out to Genoa in the quarter-final. Well, the attention tonight focused very much on Michael Owen, who scored his 17th goal of the season on Sunday and needs just one to equal Ian Rush's club record of 20 in European competition for Liverpool. And Owen is back in the starting 11. In fact, Liverpool line up as they did in the first leg. Yeshi Dudek in goal. A back four of Carragher, Hippier, Onsho and Traore. In midfield, El Hadj Diouf, Gerrard, Murphy and Risa. Up front, Owen with Heskey, and one or two playing here, Trevor, for places in Sunday's Worthington Cup final.
Well, they could confirm it with a good performance. Certainly Dudek made a couple of vital saves in the first leg. Traore and Carragher, good defensively, perhaps won't give the attacking impetus, so there was a lot of emphasis really on Risa and Diouf to try and supply Heskey and Owen up front.
That lineup means that Dietmar Hamann is among the substitutes, along with the rest of Anfield's United Nations, the Frenchman Cheroux and Alfexad, the East Europeans Smitsa, Bischan and Barros, and plenty of Senegal influence tonight. Salif Diao on the Liverpool bench for a start. As for the French team, Auxerre, they have the best away record in the French league, even though, like Liverpool, they lie in 7th place. They've got a pretty cool goalkeeper, and their back four, Rade and Yeresh, the fullbacks. The two centre-backs, young and much coveted, Mexes and Boumchong. The midfield, the impressive Matisse, the Finn Tainio, the Senegalese pair Faye and Fadiga, and the captain Lachour supporting the only out-and-out striker Djibril Cissé, who missed the first leg through suspension, but we know about him, Trevor. He's a French international, gets lots of goals.
He's outstanding, be very exciting, and certainly Fadiga out wide on the left. If he's on form, he could be a danger, I think, for Liverpool.
The officials tonight all come from Spain. There's Cissé, and Antonio Lopez Nieto gets us started right on cue. Liverpool playing with their backs to the Kop stand in the first half. 1 goal up, remember, already on aggregate from a week ago. Steven Gerrard, searching ball out to the far side, but Carragher couldn't reach it. Auxerre wearing all white. Antonio Lopez Nieto has 2 Spanish assistants. And Michael Owen on the ball here for Liverpool. Challenge was by Boumsong. And Danny Murphy, who's made a couple of goals recently and prefers to play in that central position. He's alongside Gerrard. This is Traore. Pitch in perfect condition, but then when isn't it at Anfield? And there's a good atmosphere among 36,000 or so that are expected here tonight. Risa there made the forward run, was flagged offside. Not a capacity crowd, Trevor. I think it's cost the Merseyside public a lot of money to buy tickets for Sunday as well.
Yeah, I think also they want to see their team perform, as the fans in the studio said before that big game at the weekend. But it's a big test. I do believe Murphy and Gerrard is the best central sort of midfield player, and I think they complement each other well, and so that'll be important, because I don't want them sitting back tonight. 1-0's a funny scoreline. You won 1-0 away. Let's make sure we keep ahead, and sometimes you give the initiative then to the opposition.
That's a couple of decent touches there by Auxerre. In fact, it's a free kick. First time we really saw Cissé in the game. He came on as a substitute in all 3 of France's well, there are only 3 were World Cup matches in Japan, and he's got a big future. 1 or 2 English clubs, among others, have been looking at him. Indeed, the other player, Mexes, the number 5, is one who has been noted by the scouts for some time now, and he's really promising. Only 20, but already he's had a taste of full international football. Philippe Mexes. This is Rade. Always a bit awkward when you've won 1-0 away, I suppose. Do you go for a second goal early on at home, or if you concede, of course, you're back to where you were? This is header out by Onsho. Bit of hesitation there and almost a chance for Fadiga, but there was a flag up anyway. Lacheur, the number 8, does get forward quite well, as in that attack.
Yeah, when I saw him early in the season, he was Cisse was the one, as you can see, just coming into the picture, was offside. Yeah, Lacheur sort of just plays in that area between the midfield and the front lone striker. Naturally, if Auxerre don't score at some stage, they've got to put on probably Benyani as a second striker with Cisse. When I saw Lacheur before, he played wide on the right to midfield, but they've got Matisse, who played very well in the first leg, a youngster out there tonight.
Yeah, I think Matisse, number 18, was probably the pick of the Auxerre team a week ago. This is Mexes. Tainio, the Finnish international, he'll be well known to Sami Hyypiä. Who's on the ball now. El Hadj Diouf moving inside and then finding Heskey. Diouf again. Very similar, the two, well, there's 3 Senegal players on the pitch at the moment. The 2 on the Auxerre side, very similar, Faye and Fadiga. And Diouf, of course, also made his name in the recent World Cup. Hyypiä. Owen. Rees has made a run just inside Michael Owen. Heskey's in the centre as well. And John Arne Rees are outnumbered.
It was unfortunate Michael Owen just saw Rees made a run inside the fullback. He was away and he hesitated, thinking he'd run into an offside position, but Boumsong and Yeresh, the other side, have actually played Rees on.
Sami Hyypiä, who scored last week, is up in the penalty area for this throw. It's roughly where it's going, and it's now Fadiga. Cisse. Well, the crowd really behind Liverpool early on. They've had some fitful home performances recently, if truth be told, but and of course a defeat at the weekend, but a bit of optimism in the stadium at the moment. This is Rade. Oh dear me, Traore's taken out Matisse there, and this is going to be a card, to say the very least. The Spanish referee comes over, it's yellow. He clattered him.
Well, it was so reckless. You could just see Matisse was just inviting him in. He dived in and, you know, quite grateful probably just see the yellow card. But a dreadful challenge. Here he is from a long way in. Look, I mean, no way he was going to make contact with the ball. That's
his second of the competition, Traore. You get suspended when you collect 3 these days in Europe. Free kick to Auxerre. Boumsong's in the middle there. Cisse.
Great headed clearance by Hyypiä because it was a dangerous in-swinging cross. No call in there. Crowd a bit frustrated to see Risa and Traore make and go for the same ball. Nearly headed each other in the collision.
Hasn't all been harmony recently at Liverpool, but they're anxious to prove its togetherness all the way tonight. And Auxerre are actually using Fadiga right out on that touchline now. Here's Cisse in the middle. The ball's come off Sami Hyypiä. It's going to be a corner to Auxerre. Fadiga playing really wide on the left-hand side, and that's going to bring number 4 Boumsong forward. In fact, Fadiga's so predominantly left-footed, he's bound to come across and take this corner on the right. Mexes has also joined the players in the penalty area here. Boumsong being marked by Heskey by the penalty spot. And Dudek picks it out. Made a couple of important saves, actually, in the second half last week. Yes, you do, Dec. These Auxerre team managed by Guy Roux, the great doyen figure of European football. Cody's 64 and been in a coaching capacity since 1961 at the club. Here's Murphy. Great friend of Gerard Houllier, indeed. Traoré. Murphy, just touching it on for Heskey. Tanyo with the challenge. Fay to Fadiga. That was given away by Yeresh, and then he tried to make up for it, and he brought down Diouf.
Looks like Reese is going to curl it in from that side, a bit like Fadiga did for Auxerre, and Hoopier has to be the one that Auxerre got to be concerned about.
Well, he's just being marked by Boomsong. He's made his run left to right, Sami Hoopier, but the player in front of him was Matisse. He got the header in. Here's Gerard. Trying to make the angle for the pass. He really does love to sweep the crossfield ball the full width of the pitch, Steven Gerrard. That's not such a good pass from Jamie Carragher, who now gets the interception in. This is on show. Still a bit of a mystery, really, Liverpool's fluctuating season. I don't think anybody's quite put their finger on it. Here's Diouf. Well, perhaps you've put your finger on it, have you?
Well, we've all spoken about, you know, the width in the team. I mean, I think Liverpool get upset when they hear people, they don't think that is the case. But El Hadji Diouf, they've tried to play over the last few weeks wide on the right. But you've got Risa, who I think is a good attacking left back, but he's playing sort of as the attacking wide midfielder, and so I think that's sort of part of the problem as far as I'm concerned. I like Murphy and Gerrard as a central midfield pairing, but I don't think if you've got the people you have in midfield and you've got two fullbacks who are not happy going forward, you do struggle to get behind teams, particularly here at Anfield.
Well, Emil Heskey was the man who pulled wide there, trying to get behind Mexes. He's won the throw over by the corner flag. We've been playing 10 minutes at Anfield, and still it remains on aggregate 1-0 to Liverpool. That's an offside decision against El Hadji Diouf.
Bit unlucky there, because I thought the flag was late going up. If you see when it's clipped in, is he offside? And he's definitely not. Mexes plays them on, and then look how late the flag was up, and that's a frustration with attacking players sometimes. Definitely a bad decision.
That's Carragher with Fadiga. This is Amdi Faye. Now Cisse up against, well, Traoré in the end, who had to cover for Hoopier before Dudek came to claim.
It just went over Hoopier's head, and I think Dudek was going to be out quick enough. Traoré just conscious, though, he should cover around, because Liverpool, they got that lead 1-0, but at the moment they're starting a little bit sedately. They're not really gone for the early jugular, and so at present Auxerre quite comfortably.
That's the way of it. Here's Traoré. Matisse. Risa finding Owen, and now Murphy and Diouf. There's no width on either side at the moment. Absolutely none. And in the end, Gerrard had to come back into the left-back position to keep the ball.
The midfield four almost in handshaking distance of everyone there. El Hadj Diouf and Rees are closed right in on Murphy and Gerrard. They had nowhere to go, as you said.
Now Heskey's been pulled up for that challenge on Mexesh. This boy's been described as the new Laurent Blanc ever since he made his debut at 17. And he's going to take the free kick now for Auxerre, who've pushed 4 up here. Somewhat hit, it was onto the head of Oncho. Now Murphy and Lacheur. Tainio. And Murphy picking it up from Risa. And Risa goes again, Mexesh covers. Throw in.
It was a bit too tight to his keeper, Cool, to knock a ball back to him, and so he went for the safety first and took it out for a throw.
Danny Murphy. Oh, was giving Ipia no chance. Now then, Lacheur pulling out to the right-hand side. As Gary Lineker said, we'll be bringing you some pictures of Celtic against Stuttgart at half-time. The winners playing the team that emerged from this tie in the quarter-final. Diouf. Auxerre are working tremendously hard to shut Liverpool down. They're not allowing them to play through them at all at the moment in any part of the pitch. This is number 8, Lacheur. Tainio was well forward. Oh, and Cisse was not far away from sneaking in there.
Well, actually, he should have done better. Just for the first time, the Finn Tainio broke from the centre, made the extra man beyond Lacheur to give the better support to Cisse, and you can see he then suddenly finds himself, just if he could have taken it with the first touch, might have got his shot in. Hoopy is close enough probably to make the tackle, but you can see if he gets the extra man up there, then they will probe away and create chances.
I can see what Mark Lawrenson means. He was there last week and said before the game to me tonight that Auxerre are a far better side than that 1-0 home defeat suggested. And they are moving smoothly at the moment. Now then, Cisse. Forward by Gerrard, but if Owen can do some damage, that could all change. Traore. Diouf with Carragher outside him. But again, Liverpool go backwards when ideally you'd like to have seen them go forwards. It's Murphy who does just that now to Risa. That's much better. There's a little colony of French supporters down to the left of the goal that Mexesh is defending there. Not their colours and their flags and scarves from the Burgundy region. Now, Rees has got someone to throw the ball over here. Murphy!
Well, good shot on the turn there. Boomsong won the header, actually, with a long throw. You can see, but doesn't get too much distance. One touch with the left, and then on the spin, just got a little bit underneath it, but certainly close to having to get a save from Cool.
Good technique by Danny Murphy, who's been very much a provider in recent games. But it's really Oncho now who has to concentrate as Faye comes forward. And Fadiga. Tainio. Matisse. Oh.
Well, opening quarter of an hour has not had any impact at all. You look very bright out there. But only a youngster, perhaps a little bit overawed at the moment, being at Anfield.
Here he is. Tainio just inside him, number 10. Cissé's made a run left to right. This is Fadiga. Oh, good skill by the Senegal player up against Carragher. Well, I'm not sure that was up before he crossed it, but if it wasn't, it was the tightest of ankles.
Well, terrific. It's close control, spinning and turning and just making the half a yard to get the cross in. Oncho wasn't sure who was behind him, had to get the header, but just shows us a bit of skill that Fadiga's got that can create chances.
There was a misunderstanding between the referee there and the Auxerre players as to which side the corner should be taken, so Fadiga is going to come right across, and in the centre, Boonsong and Amdi Faye just outside the 6-yard box, and Cissé. And that is Cissé. Oh.
Well, whatever the chat between Boomsong and Cissé, it would look as if it had worked. He spins off at the far post. Look, he's got a lot of space there. Traore, I think, was the one who certainly somebody lost him. But unfortunately for Liverpool, I think they had the cover at the back post, but nobody actually came in to get the actual header back across goal. They missed out on the second man coming in.
Sure, pushing up on Murphy, and it's clear that Auxerre's tactics are to smother Liverpool, particularly in the central part of the field. Now Michael Owen tries to undo them by going beyond the left back. Heskey's in the centre. Reese's coming in, header out by Rade. Then it's Murphy. Now it's Diouf.
Well, it was better, wasn't it? First time to just get behind Auxerre. Michael Owen running down the right then. Certainly, when it was then half cleared, El Hadj Diouf was just stretching to it. But originally it was Owen crossed, Reese went in for the header, then as it broke and nodded down to El Hadj Diouf, just stretching, couldn't quite keep it down because it was in the middle of the goal. I think Kuhl should have got to it anyway.
So a couple of goal-worthy efforts perhaps, if not goal-bound, from Murphy and Diouf for Liverpool. This is Heskey. Diouf again, Owen in the centre with Risa. Quite sure what Diouf was attempting there, but the ball's come all the way back to the halfway line. Matisse.
You just saw Traore's distribution has been poor. He's getting so much of the ball out here, and they're not building the play. Look, he's the man with the space, and he's given the ball away, what, 4 or 5 times already in this opening 20 minutes.
And this is Steven Gerrard. Now, Liverpool have been going backwards and sideways a fair amount because they've been forced that way by Auxerre, who are hunting them down. But this is Owen. And now Risa. Heskey's in the middle. Diouf's there too.
Wasn't a bad cross. Bit of credit to the keeper. I'm not totally convinced about, but Kuhl anticipated the cross very well and actually made it look quite comfortable, but he got into position early.
Matisse. Lacheur. That was a good tackle by Traore, but another very poor pass. Tainio. Cissé can't reach that, but as Trevor was saying, Traore's having a poor time on the ball.
Well, I must say, if I was there, I'd try and get it out to Matisse quite regularly, because you've got to remember Traore gave away that reckless challenge, so he's already picked up 1 card, and perhaps that's unsettled him.
Here's Murphy, 2 to his right. Diouf. They're doubling up on him. Oh, careless. And now Lacheur for Auxerre. Faye. Cissé. And now Matisse. That's going to run on to Fadiga. Yeres outside him.
half a yard of opening. I think it was too deep across from Jarash at the moment. But you could sense they're getting a bit frustrated at the Anfield crowd and just trying to hurry the players in to get it forward.
Yes, they started in good voice, and you can tell now there's a restlessness about the home supporters because Liverpool can't get hold of the game properly. Heskey. You can tell every Auxerre player knows exactly what his job is here tonight. They're cutting down the angles all the time. There's Giroud, probably the longest serving coach, I would think, anywhere in the world. Canny fellow. This is El Hadj Diouf. Gerrard. Now there's space, at least. In front of Murphy there is. This is Risa. And underneath the bar was Heskey, who was penalised for fouling the goalkeeper.
They spread the play a couple of times well out to Risa here on the left. Okay, just picked out, cleared Matisse. Just could he have got the cross in earlier? Just sat up a bit, and good challenge then by Matisse. And as you see, Heskey bundling cool in, and he gets penalised. Cost them a corner.
Well, we're over halfway through the first half. There's no score on the night, but Liverpool still have the advantage from last week. Long throw by Risa. Now Owen. He's got Heskey in support here. Good challenge by Boomsong.
It was an excellent challenge. I must say, I thought at one stage it was Heskey's ball, but it was Boomsong who just seemed determined to get it.
Now, Cisse chasing. Fadiga. Matisse is the player challenging Traore here. Heskey. Well, he took a long time to decide what to do, and he put three other Liverpool players out of the game. This is Lacheur. Boomsong makes a forward run from... free kick against Gerrard, who protests plenty strongly enough, actually. And it's a free kick to Auxerre.
I think it was a decent tackle, but did he get the ball? I think he did, but perhaps that's when he was penalised. As Boomsong was going down, he lifted his leg up just to get a second contact. Gerrard very frustrated, but I think that's more to do perhaps with the Liverpool performance rather than that particular incident.
Yes, it's been patchy so far, as indeed has Liverpool's recent form. Here we have a free kick to Auxerre, 30 yards out. Fadiga, the left footer, is having a long look at it. Lacheur is there as well.
Could knock it to Jarash.
Yeah, Jarash, the left back, you're right. Hits Gerrard. Comes out to Tanyo on the far side. Plenty in there for Auxerre. Poor cross. Matisse. This time Reese is penalised. Certainly not a homer, is he, this referee? He's very sharp on anything like that, Lopez Nieto. I've seen him referee before, actually. He's one of the better officials in UEFA. Rudé with the free kick. Cisse.
Certainly not seen anything I disagree with at the moment, other than that offside decision. That was his assistant.
It's turned on by Matisse, and then it was away by Hippier. Murphy looking for Carragher. Fadiga, good skill. Lacheur, and he just played that the wrong way for Fadiga to get the return.
Well, just over 25 minutes now, and it's one of those games where, having won 1-0, I've got to say, Liverpool, I think, are struggling to convince themselves that they should throw men forward. They seem to be just, if they happen to get the goal, great, but let's keep it still the 1-0 while it stays like that. But they've got a lot of possession, but there won't be many counts on chances created.
61% possession, but often the question it begs is, oh, what have you done with it? Never quite understood why that particular statistic appeals to so many people, because, you know, you've got to do something with the ball, haven't you?
Means nothing as far as I'm concerned. If you pop up the other end and put the ball in the back of the net, as much possession as you like is I think, just gives a totally false picture.
Well, sometimes. Anyway, it's Juve on the ball on the halfway line. Murphy. Well, auxzree look pretty comfortable so far, don't they? Meksesh. Matisse back to Rade. Oh, good turn by Lachur, looking for Cisse, and Carragher not quite sure who was coming in behind him. Fadiga wasn't quite far enough forward to capitalise. Yeres now finds Amdi Faye. And this time, no foul given, and it's Juve with Heskey to his right, and a free kick to Liverpool.
Well, Tiny convinced he got a touch as well, but let's see if he got the toe ender to it. No, he didn't. Good decision. I think at the moment, yeah, auxzree have coped quite comfortably, but they've still not decided yet to gamble. Too many from midfield and the second striker. So I think, you know, if it stays like this, at some stage, what, half an hour to go, they've got to take a chance themselves too.
Oh, wasted free kick that was. Here's Cisse, and it's Lachur. Oh, to his right, there's a free man. It's Matisse.
Shouldn't have put it in the air. Along the ground he was in.
Well, Murphy got back to cut it out. This is Gerrard, 4 the other way for Liverpool, but they won't be getting it for the moment. Just going back to the current, Phil Thompson there on the line, current run of form by Liverpool, there are those that say, well, they won 5 trophies of one sort or another 2 years ago. Did they overachieve? And yet you look at their league position, they've been 4th, 3rd, 2nd in the last few years, and 7 points clear, don't forget, in the autumn of this season. So, you know, something's changed.
Well, it has. I think you know, the ability to score the goals has to be the issue, but I mean, if you're keeping it tight at the back, are you getting too many people to protect them in, and you don't get people forward? I think if you look at the likes of even Newcastle at the moment, as well as Manchester United and Arsenal, you always think they've got the capability to score more goals when it's needed.
That's Yeres. The game isn't really going anywhere just at the moment for either side. This is Traore. And the crowd are getting at him, there's no doubt about that.
You see, when he's got that much space, there's no point in passing it to somebody who's marked. What you need from the defender is to just bring it until somebody comes out. Then you get them committed, and then you can release it to somebody who's then found the space. But by passing it when he's not under pressure, he's wasting the opportunity.
Amdi Faye. Tainio. Little knock by Lachur to Matisse. And Lachur's there again for auxzree. They lost at the weekend as well in the French league. But they've started pretty well tonight, despite being 1 down from the first leg.
Little rueful shake of the head from Hyypiä just reflects he's not happy. He certainly realises the team doesn't feel right.
No, there is a bit of body language there to be analysed, I think, in one or two Liverpool players. There's a bit of urgency coming from the touchline. It's a big week, really, when you think they've got this European engagement tonight and then Manchester United in Cardiff on Sunday. Liverpool aren't going to qualify for the Champions League. They might need the Worthington Cup final to get in, to be sure of getting into UEFA next season. And the opposition will be led by the gentleman in the picture.
I don't think they've had to write too much down so far. I'm sure they've not learned anything that they don't know all too well.
There's Diouf. There's a foul by Faye on his Senegal compatriot. Gerrard took the free kick quickly, looked for Risa. Header down for Heskey. And John Arne Risa working very much on his own there until Murphy helped. Heskey!
Well, a good little clip cross outside of the right foot from Murphy. He just gets between Mexus and certainly Boomsong. They just looked at each other who's supposed to pick him up. There's a little clip, and as you see, gets between the two, and without a challenge, I think he should have asked the question for Gould to make a save, but didn't get over it. This is the cross. You can see just gets in between the two. To be fair, as you see it from that angle, it was a bit behind him, and it's not easy then to keep it down.
Now Cisse with Traore. And Trippier finds Risa. On by Murphy, then by Heskey. Owen trying to come inside. Mexes, who gave him a second chance, but then recovered.
Yeah, Mexes was a bit lucky then, because he made an error, and Mike Lowe perhaps might have tried the early shot with his left foot, but then got the opportunity, Mexes, to make the challenge.
Come out to Gerrard. Trippier still forward here. Goal kick.
There's a few ricochets coming up here. Was he right? Yes, he was, wasn't he? And Trippier might have claimed that it was a corner, but it was definitely the right decision.
10 minutes left in the first half. Liverpool unable to improve on the lead they took last week. Auxerre still very much in this UEFA Cup tie. Matisse. Lachur. Cisse making a run further forward. This is Faye. To Fadiga. And Faye again. Oh, made a present of that. To Murphy, who gets Risa away. Oh, it's a poor pass. Didn't look like finding Heskey. So Matisse for Auxerre. Foul by Gerrard.
It's Matisse who keeps getting fouled by everyone now, doesn't he? No wonder he's hobbling a little bit, but good little change of direction, and just hooks his standing foot away as he turns to go inside in there. Oh, both of them, as it happens, just in case he missed the first one.
Well, there are three waiting on the far side here for Auxerre. It's going towards Fadiga. And from the throw, he's found Tainio. Murphy. Advantage played by the Spanish referee. Gerrard. Risa brought that down well, early ball in. El Hadj Diouf is there.
So Risa's probably been the most likely creator on that left-hand side. Decent enough cross, plus Al-Hadj is not the greatest in the air, though. But at the moment, still a little bit of a subdued atmosphere with a lot of quiet probing going on, but no clear-cut chances.
No, that just about sums it up after 37 minutes. It is a subdued atmosphere, and Guy Roux will be happy enough that it is, because Auxerre wanted to take the early sting out of Liverpool here. Quieten the crowd. Here's Tainio. Rade. There's Lachure. That's a good piece of football. He's gone past Sami Hyypiä. Oh, it was an idea to pull it back to Cisse, who applauds, but just a bit unlucky there, Auxerre, and a warning to Liverpool.
Lachure did well. The problem once he gets to that position is that Cisse was the only option in the penalty area. And once he pulled deep, Liverpool had 3 or 4 back and certainly then closed him down.
But here goes Cisse again. He's up against Onshow this time. Early shot! Oh, good effort. That was a decent try by Djibril Cisse.
He's quick for a big player. You know, gets the wrong side. Good little ball in again by Lachure. On his left foot, he's not worried about hitting with either foot. That one always just going to miss the far post, but certainly Dudek was worried enough to have to go for it. Just shows that threat, and that will become more in the second half when, as anticipated, they bring on a second striker with him.
Yeah, probably Benjani, who played last week, will get his chance as the game goes on. He's also very fast. Here's Diouf. Yeres got the better of him. Gerrard telling Heskey where to go, and by the time he got there, the pass was intercepted, and so was that one, fortunately for Liverpool. Here's Matisse. On by Lachure. Gerrard. Oh dear, Murphy didn't control it. Matisse. Of course, Liverpool won this competition 2 years ago, Trevor, beating teams like Roma and Barcelona. And they were playing better then, for sure.
Well, the confidence was there, much better than it is now.
And lack of confidence there in defence, and Cisse will be pulled up for the challenge on Yeshi Dudek, but it was a real moment of uncertainty. I think Onshow was the defender with the goalkeeper, but he just about got in between them.
Well, I always query do you give too much protection to the goalkeeper? He bounces up, he's there to be challenged. He goes up, and I think he makes a definite challenge, which is not a foul. And I think Dude goes down just in case. Look, where's the arms in that? He's going for the ball. It's a decent. Oh, it might have just come off his hand then as he falls down, but sometimes I think the whistle goes too early in those situations.
So into the last 5 minutes of the first half of the second leg of this UEFA Cup tie. There's Risa making a forward run for Liverpool. It's come out to Emil Heskey. Now Diouf. Owens at the near post. Good challenge, Meksesh.
It was a good challenge to Michael Owen. Made a good early run. Al-Hadj getting it in there. Not a great deal of pace, but Meksesh just getting in front of Owen.
Here's Owen again. Takes on Tainio. Diouf's made the run. Boomsong in the way. Owen again. And Faye finds Lachure. Gerrard. Well, in his over-anxiety to go through, he's lost possession in what could be an important part of the field, because Auxerre have got a lot of players forward in this attack. It's Fadiga to Faye. Lachure looking for Tainio. And there's Cisse, and there's Towell. Liverpool are all over the place there. There's a real anxiety spreading through the side, particularly there at the back.
Sometimes the anxiety at the back is because they can't see any passing options further forward. A lot of edginess.
Well, Gerrard found one there. It's Heskey. Oh, that's well overhit. Owen had no price. Very much a stop-start first half, this, certainly from a Liverpool point of view. Juve. Oh dear, which about sums it up, really, from Danny Murphy.
Well, there it is, 42 minutes gone. Gerard Houllier knows his team is struggling. They still got that 1-0 lead at present, but there's that edginess around the ground. It's going to the players. Look concerned. They've got every reason to. And, you know, it's been a poor quality game, but, you know, the drama is the edginess and the uncertainty. Are Liverpool going to be able to keep this scoreline?
Well, that has to be the question at the moment. Gerrard looking for Carragher here. Juve. And Gerrard looking up. Picks out Owen. Offside.
That's the other issue, is the predictable sort of work in the attacking third. Really, it's just, you know, stop it, try and find somebody. If you hold your line, they get the offside. No one's quite able to come up with that little bit of unexpected flair, individual skill. El Hadj Diouf perhaps hasn't provided that as they hoped, and Heskey and Michael Owen at the moment just still a little bit short of their normal confidence. You've got to remember that is the England pairing that's playing out there today.
Thanks for reminding us about that. In fact, Liverpool have only won 2 of their last 16 Premiership games, and I have to remind you that one of those was at West Ham.
All right.
We've got a minute, I think, when we get to 45 of stoppage time as well, so maybe something here at the end of the half. We'll see. It's reset. Oh, it's offside again.
But Reece is, you know, knocking the ball from deep, where quite often he's playing the ball in the left-back position from that role. I mean, I think he's worked quite hard, but with Traore so deep, tucking alongside Hyypiä and Oncho, Jamie Carragher reluctant to get along beyond that halfway line. That back four, you know, for a home performance is really playing very deep.
That's Oncho up with Cisse, and a free kick given in favour of Faye there. Boomsong took it and found Fadiga. Yeresh. In comes Matisse here. Oh, chance for Cisse! Good save, Dudek. And Lacheur unable to get to the rebound before Oncho, but it's Cisse who's holding his head. The best chance of the half, Trevor.
Well, he hit it well. He is such a good player. You know, when you think how isolated he is, he shouldn't have got the space to get himself into the shooting position, but he kept it down, and good save from Dudek.
Corner to auxzree. Matisse is up. And there's Meksesh. And Liverpool are ending the half on the wrong foot here, for sure. On the back foot, perhaps I should say, because auxzree suddenly see an opportunity here right on half-time. Boomsong and Meksesh both forward.
Will be a minimum of 1
They've played it short. It's Fadiga again. Oh, I thought Boomsong was going to get to that.
Well, he actually got in there too early and then suddenly had to check it back out, but certainly little alarm bells ringing just this last couple of minutes. Terrific ball in from Fadiga, and was there a little nudge from Heskey on Boomsong, but just the warning sign, as I say, for Liverpool. They've not played well. I didn't think auxzree had played particularly well. They've kept to their game plan, but they are better than this going forward, and we've just seen the little glimmer of that, and perhaps there's more to come in the second half.
Here Owen tries to get away from Rade, covered by Boomsong. And the Spanish referee brings an uneasy first half from the Liverpool point of view to a conclusion. Pouring rain as Gerard Houllier goes off, and one or two Liverpool players in close conversation as they go off. They're not happy with each other or with themselves, and Cisse, he's not happy with himself because he had the chance right at the end of the half to level this tie on aggregate. As it is, tonight it stands at Liverpool 0, auxzree 0, and Liverpool have still, by the slenderest of margins, the advantage in the tie, Gary. Seasons here for Liverpool, but he's got an opportunity now to show his class, because he's on that left-hand side in front of Reece, and Traore, as you say, is the man who's gone off. Do you see that making a big difference?
Well, I think, yeah, Reece can be a good attacking left-back. Schmitzer has had his days, but I mean, the other option, of course, was Shea Roux. There was another arrival last summer who's had probably less success. So it's a case of which one of those two who are also short of confidence, who do you bring on?
Schmitzer's last 2 games, in fact, well, he's missed the last 2 with injury, so returning to the squad tonight. And immediately trying to get in there on Meksesh. Auxzree, who've still got this other striker up their sleeve, Benjani, if the game remains like this for some time yet. It's Boomsong's header out. Schmitzer now. Murphy. Heskey, little touch back to Schmitzer. This is Juve, didn't control it well. And his international colleague, Fidiga, comes back to challenge. Liverpool now attacking the Kop stand. Gerrard and Juve almost in behind Boomsong. Owen didn't look like getting through there. Back it goes again from Onshow. Schmitzer's first time effort. So Celtic, some drama there in Stuttgart, but through to the next round to play the winners here. That would be some quarter-final, of course, Celtic-Liverpool, having already put out Blackburn Rovers, Martin O'Neill's team, earlier in the season. For the moment, there's no guarantee it's going to be Liverpool. This is Rudé. And now Matisse to Lachur. Radé's cross intercepted by Gerrard, who's back in his own penalty area and starts that attack. Now then, can Heskey and Owen pick up positions here for Schmitzer? This is Owen. Heskey's gone down the centre, and it's Owen again here for Liverpool. In the area, gets the shot in, saved by Kuhl.
Well, it's been better the start. Certainly, Schmitzer's given them the more natural width. Good ball out of defence by Gerrard, knocked inside here by Schmitzer. Gets a nice little ricochet, but Michael Owen's taken it in his stride. Just then goes a little bit wide, which means probably the only area it can go is the near post, and Kuhl covers it.
Forward for the corner is Hippier. Owen still chasing that Ian Rush record. Risa to take the corner. Sami Hippier is up. So too now is Emil Heskey. Auxerre very, very deep in their own penalty area here. It's Lachur out to Cisse, and he's got away from Hippier. Carry for Liverpool. Schmitzer. Now Murphy. Yeres in on Juve. That's a free kick. Foot up by Murphy on Tainio.
I think Yeres got in front of Velhez just too easily, didn't he? You've got to be a bit stronger and shield the ball better than he did.
Well, still big question marks over this Liverpool performance, and indeed over this Liverpool season. Free kick taken by Boomsong. Juve. And Heskey's bustled out of it again. Fadiga away from Murphy. On the right-hand side, Matisse. Lachur. Oof. Cisse was in a threatening position again there. Tainio. It's a bit short. Schmitzer to Murphy, but again, a Liverpool attack just peters out. Tainio, Lachur, Matisse. Blocked by Dudek, it's going to come out to Fadiga. And he's just managed to jab it out, Jamie Carragher, for a corner. If that ball had come in a bit earlier, I think Auxerre may well have scored. Dudek made the initial save. Boomsong and Mexes both come forward for the corner. Boomsong near post. Oh, Dudek with both fists, but only as far as Yeres. And Owen is the player who makes a block here. And Liverpool get a throw. So another warning from the French team, who still trail 1-0 on the aggregate score. If they were to win 1-0 in 90 minutes, of course, Auxerre, we'd have extra time in this second leg. Auxerre for Liverpool. The other way are... Oh, well, doesn't matter, does it, who's the other way?
Well, there was no link up there at all. I mean, David Carragher just tended to run alongside, but El Hadji gave him no chance, and been very little down the right flank at all this evening.
There's not been too much down either flank, or indeed down the middle, has there, really, to be honest. Here's Tiny O to Lacheur, and Cisse, well, there's no way he's going to get that either. The game hasn't really had a lot of shape in parts. It's been a bit disjointed, really.
At some stage, though, Auxerre have to bring on Benyani, really. They have to take more of a chance with a second striker, and that's when, well, hopefully the game will open out. Not too much from Liverpool's point of view, but I think we'll get a better game. And at that stage, I think you need half an hour if you are going to have to score.
It's a free kick again to Auxerre. Referee again right on top of things here. Lopez Nieto. This is Fadiga. Lacheur. Cisse coming in here. He's really stretching Huppier and Onshow, the number 9. As exemplified by that clearance, I guess. And Giroud knows his team are still right in the heart of this UEFA Cup tie. At the moment, they look the more likely team to score, Auxerre. Now I've said that, probably Liverpool will get one at the other end.
Well, they're still not totally convincing Auxerre. We've had the shot from Matisse, but I still think they're going to have to get certainly either Tainio or Andy Fay, the two central midfielders. One of them's got to start to take a chance and go forward. They're just sitting at the moment, and they're not going to get that vital goal just by staying there for the rest of this half.
Juve. That's a good looking ball. It's a nice turn by Lacheur, the captain. He looks a very accomplished player. This is Tainio. Matisse. Free kick. Foul by Smith. Oh, it's been taken quickly, and Cisse was ready to pounce there. Fadiga instead. Lacheur, that's not a foul, although he's gone down in some pain, the captain of Auxerre.
Well, he's just trying to flick it, just catches his toe, but he does spiral around, mortally wounded there, and I think he's not going to have a problem. He'll soon carry on.
One thing I wanted to ask you, is it me, or is Gerrard playing terribly deep for Liverpool?
Well, he is, and of course, you know, really, if he's going to stay that deep, then Danny Murphy should be motoring forward a lot more than he is, and yeah, certainly I do feel Steve likes to get it off the back too, and then spray these 50-60 yard balls, but they've got to be great balls to really cause problems from a defensive point of view, and that's where you go back to Alan and Mark's point that probably none of the back four are particularly confident in possession, and so you know, Gerrard feels he's probably got to take it off them, and really it's one of the back people when you're at home who should be bringing it out and committing you know, somebody from their midfield. That
means Gerrard's a long way from the Liverpool firing line. I mean, we all know he's got a possesses a good shot and from time to time can really clout one from the edge of the box, but he's nowhere near that position most of the time. Owen. Anyway, here is Gerrard. Auxerre have been a great academy in French football, bringing through some famous players from their youth team. Cantona was there for a while, Basile Boli, two of the players now at Fulham, Marley and Gomar, and Guy Roux over all those years. 1961, it seems unbelievable, doesn't it? But he could have been on the coaching strength of Auxerre for 42 years. Here's Gerrard. Heskey in the middle here. Owen gets a touch. This is Duke. Flags up. See, you're studying your team sheet very closely there. Are you looking for the next substitution?
Well, I mean, it's a shame Capo, because he played very well in the Champions League early on, and you know, they've missed it. Got Benyani as the other option, but I just think at the moment they're okay. They're holding Liverpool, but I just think they've got to make a change. Although it looks like Aman's coming on, and you know, will that release Gerrard? And I don't know. I think Murphy then probably go out and El Hadj Diouf get replaced, because he hasn't done a lot.
You mentioned the Champions League. We ought to remind everybody that Auxerre won at Highbury against Arsenal in the Champions League before Christmas. They, like Liverpool, started off in the Champions League and then dropped down to the UEFA Cup, but their best performance was when they beat the English champions on their own ground. Fadiga scored one of the goals that night, I remember.
And they didn't have Cisse either, John.
Didn't have Cisse, no, you're absolutely right. Now, it's a free kick to Auxerre, which brings Boumsong forward on the far side. Lacheur is going to take it. Meksesh is forward as well. And Meksesh is favourite for this, but Dudek got there first. I suppose you could look at the pattern here at Anfield and think, well, a year ago you could have brought on Robbie Fowler or maybe even Nicolas Anelka. Anyway, maybe they don't need them. Here's Owen.
I think Barosh has done that pretty well when I've seen him, and I'd give him a little run out.
Matisse. This is Cisse. On show with the challenge. Now then, referee waits and his assistant says corner. Yeah, I think Milan Baros, quite right, is the obvious replacement as a striker, but it would seem to me, from what we saw, that it's Harman who's going to come on for Diouf. Perhaps it'll give Gerrard a bit more freedom, we'll see. Fadiga, meantime, is going to take a corner on the far side for Auxerre. Punch straight back to him by the goalkeeper, and Fadiga will let that go out. Oh, did he? Oh, they've given handball.
That's a great one, that is. Well, he's not bad at basketball, but not great at judging where the pitch is. Let's see. Is this? I mean, the assistant referee's right next to him. Well, it's not gone out behind the line. Whether it's gone out for a throw-in, but it's not. He's found the funny side of it anyway.
I'm glad he did. I would have thought in the spirit of the game that was a corner, but never mind. It's a free kick to Liverpool. On by Heskey, but nowhere near Owen. It's forward by Onshow. Smeetser. Now Gerrard is forward this time.
I mean, the main reason Barosh is not playing, of course, is that the debate over the Heskey role has gone on for quite a while. In recent weeks, everyone said, oh, he's definitely got to play through the middle and not out wide as he often has for Liverpool. But he's gone off well, unfortunately, through that central striking role.
That was Heskey, and this is Smeetser, and he's got through past Meksesh. Loud appeals from the crowd, not many from Liverpool players, it should be said. No penalty.
Well, Mexes gestured as if he thought Schmitz dived. He got quite a fortunate ricochet which took it into his stride. I thought he was going to get away from the defender, but got back well.
Well, in the meantime, Hyypiä has fouled Matisse right over on the touchline, and what was a promising position here for Liverpool. Now he's played the ball, there's no question about that, Mexes.
Great lunge that was to get a touch, you know, because that was quite a way from him.
Yeah, it was. It was a fine piece of defending, as a matter of fact, but there's some defending for Liverpool to do here, because Fadiga is going to take a free kick from just inside the far touchline with his left foot. Boumsong and Mexes forward again. Not a particularly good delivery, headed away by Gerrard. Tainio, what's happened to the Liverpool substitution here, Trevor?
Perhaps a man's, I mean, I suppose because they're into a defensive situation, you don't sometimes like to bring anyone on because people are marking people down, and you tend to try and make a substitution when you're in attacking areas.
Fadiga trying to head it on. That's Lacheur. I just wonder whether they were changing their mind there again about
I think it should happen now with a goal kick. They should be okay. They should be safe. Here we go.
Well, it's definitely El Hadj Diouf who's coming off.
Substitution leaving the field.
Murphy to the right, I'm sure, but Hammam will sit more in that deep position, and then you might get your wish, and Steven Gerrard might start to motor forward.
Well, not before time if he does. And Hammam has in fact just pointed and given a few instructions on to Gerrard as he's come on. Hammam, number 16, won the UEFA Cup with both Bayern Munich and Liverpool. There he is, Schmitz. And again, Owen to his left, can't get round tiny obstruction. It's a free kick to Liverpool, and Sami Hyypiä starts to make his way forward, as he did last week. It's his goal that still separates these teams in the tie. Danny Murphy, the provider here. Big noise from the Kop stand. Well, in fact, Hyypiä has stumbled against Mexes, so there's no danger.
Well, as well, Danny Murphy usually knocks in a good ball, but he got underneath that one, and it hung it in the air, and it's pretty much cannon fodder for Cool.
It's a free kick to Liverpool. Well, auxzree will feel it's a job so far quite well done, but it will only count really if they get a goal. And it's a question now whether Giroud, or when he risks the second out-and-out striker, as you've said all along. Schmitz now for Liverpool.
Doesn't give much away with his expressions there, does he?
And that was Gerrard working hard to get Liverpool moving. I think Boumsong's going to wait for this to run. Having a sit down, why not?
Did you see him push me there, he said?
Well, there is a great quarter-final in prospect if Liverpool were to hang on to this. Celtic through tonight in quite, unusual circumstances in some ways. At one point, 5-1 up on aggregate in Stuttgart, and then conceding 3 goals to go through 5-4, although even if it got to 5-5, Celtic would have been ahead on the away goals. Anyway, they're through, and they'll play the winners of this match in 2 weeks' time. The first leg in Glasgow, the second leg a week later, either at Anfield or in auxzree.
And having missed out on their Champions League money at a stage where they would have hoped to be, I mean, that's a very lucrative 2 matches for them. It's pretty crucial that they get through this match.
Owen for Liverpool. Nobody with him yet. Murphy. Well, there was Owen in what looked like an attacking position, and look where the ball finished up.
It's like a a keep ball session where you just turn and go back to where you started, and that's the frustration for the fans.
Here's Murphy, though. Smica. Still Vladimir Smica! Well, that's probably the most threatening moment that Liverpool have produced.
Well, now and again, he does come up with that. He can run with the ball at his feet really well. He's got good balance, can use both feet, and as you can see, I thought he was going to skip all the way through, then he just tried to hit it with his left, and the big disappointment was that he got underneath it. I mean, anything on target, either side of Cool, and he'd have been in trouble, the keeper.
Well, it's roused the crowd a little. This time it's a foul by Smith. Tainio there for auxzree. Still keeping their shape. That was a Rade to Tainio.
They're still keeping their shape, but they're not convincing me that they're going to get the goal at present. I just think they've got to very soon give themselves a chance of getting that goal and not leave it for, say, the last 10 or 15 minutes. I think you have to give yourself at least the 20 minutes.
Harman to Murphy. Oh, Michael Owen for Liverpool! Is that the goal that sends Liverpool into the quarter-finals of the UEFA Cup to play Celtic? What it is, it's the goal that enables Michael Owen to equal Ian Rush's record. His 20th goal in European competition in his 42nd game, and it was typical Owen when it came.
Well, what you got to say is he just always keeps showing and wanting, waits for his moment. It was a delightful run because he ran right along the line. Good little flick there, Danny Murphy comes inside. He's not offside, he's level, and he's actually just made, as I say, a good little 5-yard run across the line. And then when he's bearing on goal, you think, what's he going to do? Is he going to go round? He's missed chances like that recently. He just lifted it over Cool, and a sigh of relief all the way around Anfield.
67 minutes. Michael Owen makes it 20 European goals in 42 games. Ian Rush got to 20, by the way, in 38. Here's Fadiga, but then you are comparing two of the great goal scorers in Liverpool's history there. Just let's see, Trevor, whether there was a suspicion of offside here. Did you think?
No, look, you see he runs along the line. Mekses is actually trying to play him onside, but he just runs square and he's level, and it's a terrific striker's run, really, flat along the line, and Mekses, who could see everything, I think definitely just kept him level and played him on.
The assistant referee on the near side, I think, was spot on. That's the whole point of the FIFA directive about players being allowed to go when they're level with the last defender. Used to be offside, it's not now.
The key was he ran along the line 3 or 4 yards. So many strikers just run straight ahead, and if it had been straight ahead, then he'd have been 3 or 4 yards off. But he knew he had an awareness of where the defence was, what they were trying to do, and he just ran along the line. Superb.
It's also his 18th goal of what's supposed to be a fairly indifferent season for Michael Owen. Anyway, Liverpool now are 2-0 up on aggregate, so they're asking a lot of auxzree now.
That was an interesting statistic on that occasion. Just 2 shots on target, as you know, and we've played, what, nearly 70 minutes.
Absolutely. Auxzree would need to score twice now, and that would technically take them through on away goals, but they haven't got the first one yet. This is Mekses. They'll have to take a chance or two now, the French team. Oh, and Dudek, I don't think he saw that coming for a moment. It's a corner.
That was very nearly in. It nearly picked it up late, didn't he? I mean, good strike, but does it move in the air? And certainly it was worried. It's a chancy one when you punch it like that. If you just happen to mistime it, it flies into the net.
Corner to auxzree. Fadiga short to Matisse. Back again to Fadiga. Still plenty of players in there. He's onside, Matisse. Headed away by Gerrard. Yeres. Somewhat happier, more hearty Anfield now. Tainio. Cisse with Hippier. Corner. They're going to have to gamble, Auxerre. 2 goals required for them in the last 20 minutes. Boomsong coming forward now. Mexesh has gone behind the others, but he sent the ball into the stand. Well, is this vintage Owen, Trevor?
Well, his first touch is excellent. You know, he can look up, see if he commits himself. I thought he was going to try and take it round him, but he just saw him go to his left, and he just lifted, and look at that reaction there.
Yes, it's a relief for Gerard Houllier, isn't it? A big relief. Owen again. Dietmar Hamann. Gerard. Murphy. There's some good running there from a deep position by Smica. Hasn't got it yet. In fact, it's gone back to Gerard. It's a good ball by Gerard to Owen. Heskey's in the centre. Boomsong. On show. Murphy. Smica. Owen.
A little bit of confidence creeping back. Suddenly the passing is crisper. There are passing options. Hamann, who used to be such a key figure, doesn't he, just threading it off, getting it off the back forward. Since he's come on, he has helped to, I think, link the play better.
1-0 on the night, 2-0 on aggregate. Liverpool here with 1 foot in the quarter-finals of the UEFA Cup, which they won 2 years ago. Maybe now they can just raise their game again as Murphy shoots. Oh, what about that? Danny Murphy has to smile. He'll never get a more unexpected goal, and you have to feel sorry for Fabian Cole.
Liverpool's second goal on the 13, Danny Murphy.
A goalkeeping blunder of the first order in a European match by an experienced keeper here. And, well, where is he, Danny Murphy? 30 yards? It didn't seem to do very much, Trevor, before the goalkeeper fumbled it.
Well, left himself pretty cold, I would have thought. You know, when you think of the one the other end 3 or 4 minutes ago when Dudek had it, and I think that was a better shot from Mexesh. He punched it away, but there just seemed to be wanted to take it in the mid-ref, got it horribly wrong and ricocheted off his hip.
Well, it's taken Danny Murphy into double figures for the season. It's taken Liverpool into a 2-0 lead tonight, 3-0 on aggregate, surely now safely through to the last 8. Something of a catastrophe for the goalkeeper, but Heskey's been brought down on the far side, and what this makes me wonder, you wouldn't want to argue with a coach of Giroud's experience, by no means, but, you know, he didn't sort of really bring the extra forward on, did he?
Well, whether he's going to make a change now. I must say I was expecting it with half an hour to go, and then I gave him the benefit of the doubt for a few minutes. But they never looked as if they were going to get the goal, John, and while you're sort of not threatening, they didn't seem to have that little bit of zest. And, of course, once then Liverpool got the second goal, they now look a beaten side. There's no point in making the change because they're not going to retrieve it, although he will, of course. But we've got another one now from Liverpool, isn't it?
Yeah, we'll just deal with this free kick first. Gerard deep towards Hippier. Goalkeeper's all over the place now.
He's certainly not where he should be anyway. I think Hippier was prized because Cole got nowhere. He just got a nod it there, hasn't he? I mean, that was a wonderful opportunity. Mind you, I think 3-0 on the night would have been slightly flattering, wouldn't it?
Well, it may have been, but it may still be 3-0 because Liverpool have got the whole game now. This is Carragher. Smeetser. Well, auxzree really seem to be out of it at the moment. Flame extinguished, really, just when you thought that Giroud might relight it by bringing on a fresh attacker or an additional attacker. He chose not to do so, and Liverpool have taken their opportunities at last. Murphy's touch, then Smeetser. Now then, Amdi Faye to Lacheur. Mexes. That's going to be a free kick to auxzree. Well, Mexes certainly doesn't think it's over. It's going to be another substitution.
Bishkan, isn't it? He doesn't often get an out in, but Bishkan coming into the game, and he's going to play at the back instead of Oncho.
Yeah, Oncho's the man going off. He only came back from injury tonight. Igor Bishkan hasn't had many opportunities. He was sub in the 0-0 cup draw at Crystal Palace, I remember, but he's on again as a sub tonight, number 25.
There's a substitution leaving the field, number 11.
Now then,
coming on.
auxzree to make a change as well.
Coming on number 33 is Akale.
In fact, there's going to be 2 changes. Fadiga and Cisse have gone off, and Akale and Benjani have come on. 2 for 2 for auxzree.
Number 9, Dibril Cisse leaving the field.
Bishkan has had a couple of appearances in defence for Liverpool this season. He's not unfamiliar with the position. Here's the free kick from Lacheur. Mexes goes in. Well, now that they've done here, they have brought on the extra attackers, auxzree, but they've taken off the man that we thought was their most dangerous.
Yeah, and he doesn't look that impressed. I mean, I think Giroud was just saying, look, we're not going to get back into this game, and the changes were too late, and so probably he's just thinking of their next game in the French league.
Yeah, it's a corner though to auxzree, and Mexes goes in. Yeres. Benjani, number 21, played last week. Now, the man on the ball, number 33, Akale, will be new to Liverpool. That's his cross, and there is Benjani. And that shot comes in from Faye.
It's unlucky to the number 21, Benjani. I would have loved to have seen he and Cisse together 15 or 20 minutes, but we were certainly denied that once that second goal went in.
Well, Kanga Akale is from the Ivory Coast. He signed in the winter break from Swiss football, and gets a chance here when it's pretty much too late for auxzree, you'd think. Michael Owen still trying to hunt down the defenders there. He looks a bit demoralised, doesn't he, Djibril Cisse? Had that one chance in the first half, which Dudek saved. Yeres. Akale. Good deep cross, and Matisse is waiting beyond Risa.
Good run, wasn't it, by Akale?
Yeah, he's a handy little player, from what I've been told, but not getting many opportunities from the start. Well, it's a more settled Anfield now, after a good hour of anxiety. A well-taken goal by Owen and a fortuitous one by Murphy, to add to the one that Hippier scored last week. 3-0 on aggregate. I hardly think auxzree are going to score 3 now.
Well, into the last 10, I'm sure a bit of frustration that his side haven't performed better. I certainly feel a bit of sympathy for Seasad. It was tough for him up there by himself, and he must have been expecting a bit of help earlier than he got it. But by then, Liverpool had scored again, and really, I think from their point of view, they're going to remember the game finishing on the up, going into Sunday's game against Manchester United, and so that's a positive. They look a bit more confident now, passing it better, and they got that mouth-watering sort of quarter-final, 2 ties against Celtic. So, yeah, I think they will actually now go into the match on Sunday against Manchester United a lot more optimistic, perhaps, than we thought about 15 minutes ago.
Well, the demand for tickets for Sunday has far outweighed supply. It certainly will for the quarter-final. First leg at Celtic Park 2 weeks tonight. Second leg at Anfield a week later. That really is a belter. And here's Michael Owen. Not sure the referee's too impressed with that.
I thought he might have got clipped there, but I think it was, they were galloping away from the referee, with finding it difficult to keep up with him, so I don't think he could give the decision from where he was.
Akale for auxzree. Yeres. The referee saw a late challenge there. I think it might have been Murphy. It's a free kick to auxzree. Maybe a late consolation for them here. Boomsong comes forward, as he has for all the set plays. Oh, he got caught as he cleared it. Steven Gerrard just, I think, kicked into the foot of the auxzree player.
Yeah, I think it was Matisse, wasn't it, who just caught, went through the calf of Gerrard, the right-sided midfielder, got the yellow card.
Got a yellow card for it. Yes, he was cautioned. He did leave his foot there, to be honest. It was a bit unfortunate how Gerrard kicked into it, but his foot was up, Matisse. Bring on the Celtic, they're chanting here. The absorbing, see Martin O'Neill pitting his wits against Gerard Houllier, having already, perhaps in one of the matches anyway, outfoxed Graham Souness and Blackburn. They have met before in European competition, in fact more than once, Liverpool and Celtic, but the time you'll remember is recently when Liverpool drew 2-2 about 5 years ago at Celtic Park, a famous goal by Steve McManaman, and then the game here ended 0-0 and Liverpool went through on away goals. You have to be a really long-serving Liverpool supporter to remember the other occasion, a famous goal again by Jeff Strong, as I recall. Anyway, enough of that. Smitsa. In the middle is Owen. Could be. Not quite.
Well, it looks a bad miss. I tell you what, Michael Owen did brilliantly to get on the end of it. Just watch the movement here. Smitsa goes outside, watch him go near, and then he suddenly goes to the back post, just stretching. It's going away from him. Got to it. The timing was good, but he just then couldn't keep it down. It looks quite a bad miss, but it's done brilliantly to get to that position.
4 defenders were drawn towards the cross, leaving Owen unmarked. This is Faye. Benjani. Tainio. Interception by Gerrard. This is Owen. Of course, he needs one more now, Owen, to set a new Liverpool record in Europe. Smitsa.
Smitsa's done better as well, ahead of Ritza, that side, since Traore went off at half-time.
a slice from Dudek. Just had a chat with Chris Kirkland before the game, the injured goalkeeper here. He won't be fit this season, but he's hoping to start pre-season training with the rest of the team. A very unfortunate injury for a man who might well have got selected to keep goal for England.
Yeah, talking of fitness, I'm sure Martin Neil would like Henrik Larsson perhaps to be in contention. He's fractured jaw at the moment, but he's due back sometime next month, so he might make one of the ties.
That was a booking there for number 10, Tainio of Auxerre. I think it was more for dissent than anything else. And in fact, that's his third yellow card of the tournament. Had they still been going on Auxerre, he would have been suspended, but it matters not now because they're going out. This is Benjani to Rade. Matisse is on that side as well. Benjani again. Life a lot more comfortable for the Liverpool defence now. Well, the two goals that have really clinched this UEFA Cup tie for Liverpool. Michael Owen, as Trevor said, a brilliant run along the line and a very deft finish. And here, well, this doesn't really belong to the fourth round of Europe, does it? Danny Murphy gets the credit for that. And there's no doubt who gets the blame. It's Beach-Chan for Liverpool. Gerrard forward to Murphy. That's an outside of the foot pass, but Lacheur for Auxerre. And he's got Akale on this wing. Time for Liverpool to really play this out. By Beach-Chan. Couldn't quite get the return, but following up is Dietmar Hamann. Risa. Touches by Fay to Lacheur. Benjani's through the middle. Akale on this side. Just really playing out the last knockings now of a UEFA Cup tie that has gone, in the end, quite comfortably to Liverpool, but certainly wasn't going that way in the first half here tonight. And the manager can now turn his attention to Sunday and the final of the Worthington Cup.
And I think the changes, Hamann with Gerrard, Murphy moving wide instead of El Hadjiouf, and certainly Risa then going to left back and Schmitz coming on instead of Traore. Those two changes probably, I think since then, that shape of team has done enough perhaps to be the one that might start against Manchester United at the weekend.
Heskey. Oh goodness, that was a bit of an overhit pass to Gerrard. Lacheur's back heel, Benjani. Nexus now playing as a forward, really. They've only got three at the back, Auxerre, in these closing stages. Owen, it could mean the third goal of the night for Liverpool if they play this right. There's a man over on this side of the field anyway. No real need, I guess, for them to extend themselves. Murphy. Here's Beach-Chan. Oh, and is he through here? Schmitz are offside.
Well, it's good to see a defender bringing it out from the back, Beach-Chan. Smeacher definitely just drifted a yard or two off, but well, you never walk alone, and the fans happy. It took a while getting there, but they're relieved. They're into that quarter-final.
2 minutes.
Benjani there, bustled off the ball as we go into the extra period of 2 minutes. Well, we've managed to put the 10 o'clock news back tonight. Giroux's team are well beaten now. I'm sure he'll get a warm handshake from Gerard Houllier, which will be exchanged. They were convalescing together after heart trouble just last year.
No sympathy for the goalkeeper there, wasn't there? But in the early half of the season, Auxerre, I think, were top of the league for a while, and just certainly had an indifferent spell. Cisse was out injured for quite a while. They've had an indifferent spell in the French league, and certainly they don't look the same side we saw at Highbury.
Well, they've only got a few seconds to go now. Oh, and here's Smeacher. Unlucky. Well set up, actually, by John Arnorisa.
Yeah, good little cushioned header, just set up nice to hit with the volley outside of the right foot, just took it away from Cool, but also to the far post.
Two headlines coming out of this match. Michael Owen has equalled Ian Rush's record of 20 European goals for Liverpool. It was his 42nd European appearance, and the second headline is that Liverpool will now play Celtic in the quarter-final of the UEFA Cup in 2 weeks' time. The score on the night, Liverpool 2, Auxerre 0, and for Gerard Houllier, a 3-0 win on aggregate.